Alright guys, before we get into the video, I'm going to talk to you yet again about futtrading.co.uk. Thank you to everyone that continues to subscribe and support our content. It means the world to us. You guys know we work very hard on the website. You make a lot of coins, but without you guys, we don't have a website. So thank you very much for that. We're working on another big giveaway this month, and hopefully we'll have details of that in the coming days for you guys. But just so you know, £10 a month gets you access to Tier 1 perks, which is buying and selling prices for icons, specials and silvers, as well as Thursday flips. They bang all the time, a lot of coins to be made. And with Tier 2, you get all the Tier 1, plus Chem Star filters, plus live filters, and we're adding UCL cards to that as well. PC prices have now been added, and we continue to add more PC features in the coming days and weeks. So make sure you check out futtrading.co.uk. You'll make millions as simplistically as anything. But for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe down below. Make sure you turn your notifications so you never miss an upload. I upload 3 times a day. The morning video is League SBC Method to Glory. I always say it, but it's me teaching you guys how to craft players and packs on this game for free. Once you get the grind going, you guys would have seen yesterday, walkout after walkout after walkout being packed. And so yeah, you want to make sure you check that out for certain. The evening video, this video is always a trading video. Going to get into details about what today is all about in a minute. And the midnight upload is always a mixture of trading content, pack content, pick content, all that sort of stuff to keep you guys going throughout the week. Don't forget, make sure you turn your notifications back off and on again because YouTube messed up notifications. And in tomorrow morning's video, I think it'll be, we're going to run the first of our giveaways for futtrading.co.uk. If any of you guys are already subbed, you'll just win. If you win it, you'll win another month for free. If you're a Tier 1, we can upgrade you to Tier 2 for free. Or if you've never been a sub before, it's your chance to try it out for free. So make sure you subscribe for your chance to enter. But this is Trading to Prime EUSEBIO. However, I've been playing Weekend League this weekend and the team wasn't working at all. So I had to take it apart, put it back together again. And so my coin total was not an accurate reflection anywhere near of where we're actually at. We're at about 2.2, 2.3 million coins at the moment. And so today is more going to be about how you guys can make coins tonight and looking at market trends. Purely because when I do these series, I like to show you guys me buying stuff, me selling stuff. And at the moment, it's not that viable for me to do that because I'm selling, like Zambrotta's been sold off, Mateus was sold off. Mateus actually made about 150k, 200k profit on, which was very nice. But I just, yeah, for me right now, I need to make sure that I'm obviously playing Weekend League because that's something you guys want to see and making sure it's accurate. So we're going to talk about market trends instead and what you guys can make across multiple sort of platforms is the best way of putting it. To put it bluntly, yesterday the informs that were impacted extremely well in terms of bounce back and profit. Gold, low-end gold metas did unbelievably yesterday. They were incredible. Huge coins been made in them, and UCLs did brilliantly as well. I will show you my transfer list just so you've got an idea of what's going on. Currently, been flipping these to pies. So we flipped these off last night. We picked them up at like 180-ish. Sold them on for 200k. The day this morning, we picked them up for 170 this morning. Sold them for 215. We've got a couple more. We've got another Depay selling and another Zambrotta selling to finish it off. Basically, we're going to talk about Depay in a second because I actually made quite a few losses on him yesterday because I bought him way too high. So I've had to spend the morning making back some of that coin because I bought him way too high. But now we've got an idea of where he is in the market. He could be a very good player tonight. It's always risky, but there's a chance. So I'll clear that off. But basically, essentially, we're at about 2.2 million once everything comes to be sold. And again, Trading to Prime EUSEBIO will return properly, most likely tomorrow, but possibly Monday, because obviously this weekend, like I say, I want to start grinding out Foot Champs again and giving you guys that. But what I want to do right now is head over to FUTBIN and show you some graphs and show you bits and bobs you guys can be doing tonight. If you follow the tips in this and you use your own common sense and your own thought processes, you'll do very well tonight. There's a lot of coins being made tonight. Saturday last week was the best night for making coins. Again, I expect it to be the same tonight. So let's head over to FUTBIN and I'll show you what's going on. Alright guys, so here we are on FUTBIN and the first card we're going to start with is Memphis Depay himself. What we're going to look at firstly is his graph from yesterday. So before 6 PM yesterday, Memphis was at 288, 277 and since then he has fallen off a cliff. Now why is this? There's 2 major reasons why he's fallen off a cliff. First, quite evidently pack supply. During lightning rounds we get loads of packs being opened up and obviously he's in form this week. He gets packed, he gets listed. But the other reason why Depay I think is held quite low today is because he's very hard to find on the market. If you remember last week, I picked up Sergei Milinkovic-Savic's 88 card and I did very well from it. I was making about 10k profit a card. Because he's hard to search, so you have to find a filter that means you're bringing up that Depay and do it that way. And a lot of people aren't searching him. But what I now know is I looked at him. So last night I picked him up in and around 180 towards the end of the night, but before that I was picking up at 235, which was an error, an absolute massive error. Made a loss on him quite substantially before making it back today. But we now know that Memphis has been sitting all day at around the 199, 200,000 mark. He keeps fluctuating, but he really is about 200,000 coins when I look at him on the market. And I now know that. That's in my locker. So I know yesterday during Lightning rounds, he absolutely took a hammering. He took an absolute hammering. And now the supply's ended, he seems to have settled around the 200k mark. So tonight when Lightning rounds come out, he's a card that I'll look at. Not just him, there's plenty of them to look at, but he's someone to look at because he's... Whether he bounces back to 200k or not, again tonight, is another matter. But if he starts getting listed at 160s, 170s, I've got an interest in that because I know full well, even after supply yesterday's drop-off, he's sitting around 200k. But what I also noticed yesterday was how this card got affected, the 87. It got affected substantially yesterday. So if you look yesterday, he was at 174, and then throughout the night he came down as the 88 came down. And so there's a chance I look at him today and go, actually. So if you look at that, between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, he jumped by 25,000 coins. Now he's back down at where he was then, but there is a buy and sell point at different points in the day where these cards will rise and climb. But again, if the 88 comes down in price, I'm interested in the 87. I'm less interested in the 86, purely because I don't think he's that affected by the price. When we saw the Sergei Milinkovic-Savic last week, there wasn't really that big a hit on him. And so his 86 card didn't drop as much. But that's one thing to look at. Next card I want to show you is Luke Shaw. And he's been relatively hardy at 31,000 coins. If I show you yesterday, at his highest sort of 36 there, he's come down, he's got back down to 30k, 31k. And he reminds me very much of Ndombele. When Ndombele was in packs, I bought into loads of him, bought it again a bit too high, then had to make it back by buying him lower. But someone like Luke Shaw is going to get packed relatively often, but he has a demand. He's an English Premier League left back. You've got the links to Rooney, you've got links to English players like Harvey Barnes. If this card was in any other league, I don't think you're getting 31k for it. I think the fact he's English in Premier League and Man United means he's holding the value. And again tonight, 84 rated team of the weeks will get packed quite often. And yesterday I've seen him pop at 25, but I didn't buy in. I wanted to see what he did as the supply happened. And so now I've got my market knowledge of what I'm doing. And it's why I always say to you guys, when stuff happens on the market, just watch cards. See what they do. I now know that Shaw's sitting around 31k. So tonight, again, if he gets 24s and 25s, I could probably buy into him relatively easy and make quite a big bit of profit for him. And you guys are going to see me do that hopefully on the Trading to Prime EUSEBIO video, as I'm going to start targeting cards like this. Not definitely sure, but cards like that without a doubt are going to be cards that I'm interested in. So that's all looking at Team of the Weeks, and you can do that for any of the Team of the Weeks here. They're all going to show relatively similar patterns in terms of coming down and bouncing back again. Oyarzabal yesterday was 50k or 55k, he's down at 45 at the moment. Kimpembe got down very low last night. If I remember him right, I think he was down towards the 200k mark at points. So yeah, I got 219 there, but I was seeing him pop at 205 and 210. He's now up at 230 again. So again, I know there's demand on him because people bought back into him today. The difference between today and tomorrow, though, is people are mainly buying their weekend league teams today. So you do want a bit of a bigger drop than that, without a doubt. Other cards to look at, this Jonathan David. I picked one up at 170. I think it was 170 or 175, as you can see there. And this morning he's steadily risen up, and he says 210 there. I think it's come down a little bit since then. Or he might have climbed a little bit more, I don't know. No, it's 210. And so on that card there, I picked up about, I think it was 175, but it might have been 170. But again, there's 25k profit on that card. And again, we know there's a relative demand for him because, as you can see, his price came down to like the 175 mark this morning, and it's risen since then. And so I have an interest in him. Why as well? Number one, he's Ligue 1. There's a lot of overpowered Ligue 1 players this year. But he's 5-star weak foot, so if you're looking for a cheap beast, people look at this card. Do I think he holds 210? Not a chance. I don't think he holds a chance. It holds 110 whatsoever. 210 whatsoever. But I think for now, for this weekend, you're probably fine. The reason why I say that is I want to show you Giovanni Reina's cam card from last week as well. So if you go daily graphs on him, over the weekend he held relatively steady in price. Little drop there, and then throughout the week he sort of plummeted down and dropped very, very quickly. That's something to be mindful of. However, if I show you yesterday's graph on him, yes, he went down, and look at him now, he's bouncing back again. And this tends to happen with these cards, I think, especially with Reina and Reece James. We saw a lot of sell-off of them before the new team came out. People sold them off, and then people bought, and they're rising since then. But I'd be mindful of that. That's one to look at later in the week, and we will look at that in more detail. But I do just want to show you the price of some of these 84, 83 and 84 rated meta cards. So if I show you Wan-Bissaka, for example, he's very high at the moment. Now, he's got a relative high because of demand for the Curtis Jones SBC as well. But if we look yesterday, What actually happened at 6 p.m. was he rose. He went up in price before dipping back down again. But dipped back down again. Apologies, you can hear dogs barking. But dipped back down again with the supply we got. But what I was seeing was Wan-Bissaka popping at 9k, 8k with shadows on him. And that was what I always encourage you guys to do, to look at cards like Wan-Bissaka and see what they do with shadows on them. Because if he comes down to 8k and you're picking him up with shadows on him at that time, he's now at 10,500 coins in the market. I just checked with shadows on him, which is insane. That's 2,000 coins profit a card. If you're at a low budget, that's a lot of profits you're making. That's 20% per card. In fact, more than that, 25% return on investment per card you're buying. Another one I liked yesterday when I looked at him was Fred, and I regret not buying into him. At the moment on the market, he's currently 4k, okay? Now, he's relatively demanded, like he's a relatively cheap beast or whatever, but if you look at this, here yesterday, again, he actually rose up before dropping back down again, but he didn't. This is an average price for him. During that lightning round, that first 10 minutes of the lightning round, he was popping at 1k, 2k, left, right and centre. And then once the lightning round was done, he got bought up and then he rose, and that's why you're seeing the average price you're seeing there. He didn't stay that low, and these sort of cards do extremely, extremely well whenever you see lightning round supply. They do so, so well. And it's something to be mindful of. It's something that I might look at tonight, even with my coin budget. If I can buy en masse of some of these cards, especially these UCL cards, they are very profitable, very easy to make profit on. And again, if you look at Marcus Llorente, he held a high of 2.9 yesterday, got to 2.2 there, 2.3 there with supply. Again, that's average price. There would be cheaper ones than that. 2k this morning before spiking. Now he's back up at 2,300 coins. That was 34 minutes ago. He will rise back up again. But your time to buy these UCLs will be tonight en masse. And again, remember, you can bid and buy these cards. The 82 rated Marcus Llorente at the moment, there isn't that big a gap between him. If you can find the cards, website subscribers, you've got this already. If you can find the cards that have got the bigger gaps in them, like Rakitic, Luke de Jong, those sort of guys do very well. When the gaps are big, you can pick those cards up for a K, listen for 2k next day. Even overnight, it's that easy. And the UCLs did very, very well overnight. They did extremely well. I also want to show you, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to say his name again, but everyone keeps thinking me. Again, another thing to think about with this guy here, he's rising at the moment. He's gone up in price. I don't know if he's accurately there at 545. Let's just check. He's at 546 at the moment, a little bit higher. Again, dip, 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 dip. And again, he's now starting to bounce back slowly but surely. From 524 there. Yesterday got as low as, what, 506? And he's now up at 546. So if you bought into that card, you're looking at about, give or take, just under 20k profit, which is solid. And again, tonight, I think we see similar. The reason why these cards went down is because people sold them in the sort of panic before Team 2. That's why they went down. But also, whenever we get pack supply, people tend to sell off. For two reasons. Number one, they go and buy their teams and sell these guys off that they don't want to use anymore. But usually it's mainly because they panic. They think the whole market's about to crash. And what actually happens is them selling the cards makes the market crash. The market wasn't going to crash otherwise. So realistically, that's where I think your plays are tonight in terms of what you're doing. But if you can be smart about what you're doing, don't just go buy Depay. Don't just go buy Shaw. Look at the team of the weeks. See the trends they did. Look at the future stars from last week and this week. See what they did. Look at UCLs and metas overnight and see what they did. Check the price of it all now. You've got no qualms with it right now. You're going to see my effect of what I do with this tomorrow. I'm going to be looking at the market very hard tonight. I'm going to be sitting here from 6 p.m. analysing everything. And hopefully tomorrow you'll see it. But if you follow these tips, if you've got 500k, there's no reason why you can't make 100, 200k tonight. If you've got 1 million coins, there's no reason why you can't make 250, 300k tonight. You've just got to do your research now. You've got plenty of time until 6 p.m. to look at all these cards, get it into your head and see what you want to be working with. But the actual trading again, trading to Prime EUSEBIO will be back tomorrow. But because of Foot Champs, I want to give you guys an accurate reflection of what I'm doing. And this would not be remotely accurate right now because I'm selling players, buying players, changing my team up because it wasn't working. It now is working, thankfully. But that's the end of the video. If you are new around here, as always, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. Check out tomorrow's video. One of them will have a giveaway for futtrading.co.uk. Join the Discord. Follow me on my socials. But for now, I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.